What is going on, my beautiful people? Welcome to yet again another episode of the Pivot Mindset Podcast. My name is Justin. I am your host, and I'm excited that you are joining me for yet again another episode. This is the podcast where we help people create and conduct the pivots in their lives. If you're listening to this episode, I want you to feel empowered throughout this episode to really create and make the shifts, make the adjustments in life. And that's what our whole community is all about. So let's get into the topic today. So the topic that I want to talk about today, and I want to really paint a picture for you. And that picture is, let this be your sign to keep going. If you were looking for a sign to keep going, to keep doing the thing that you feel you should be doing in this season of your life, let this be the sign to do that. Because the truth is, and I'm going to talk about this and expand on it throughout this episode, is the truth is you don't see your impact. And it's truly a privilege to know how you're impacting people. And in this day and age, I believe when it comes to anything that we do in life, when it comes to walking out our purpose, becoming the person who we know we're capable of, when it comes to being the best wife or husband, when it comes to being the best mother or father, or the best any role that you occupy, the best employee, the best entrepreneur, when it comes to be the best at anything in your life, I believe it could be very hard to stay on that path, to stay motivated, to stay inspired when you don't see the impact that you're making on people. And I want to begin to really help you see that truly. And when you don't see your impact, when you don't see how you're impacting people, when you don't see the lives that you're changing, when you don't see how your words, how your example, how your expertise, how you showed up, how your personality has changed someone's day, or maybe even changed the trajectory of someone's life, it can be easy to give up. It could be easy to not continue forward, because often we don't see the results as soon as we think we should. We often don't see the results that we want out of the thing that we're doing as early as we think we should. And if you're like anything like me, you'll find yourself, if you don't see a result, like a tangible result, you'll start to look around to check for your effectiveness. You'll start to look around and ask yourself, man, am I being effective? Am I touching people? Am I encouraging people? And when it comes to happiness, right? And this is, I believe, very tied to happiness. When it comes to happiness, happiness really isn't getting to the destination. Happiness primarily is around progress. When you are progressing in something, when you are moving something forward, when you are a step better today than you were yesterday, or when you've got $1 more in the bank today than you did yesterday, you typically feel more invigorated and happy around that result, because you are making progress. If any of you are trying to accomplish anything in life that's significant, it's not getting there that moves the needle for you. It's not finally accomplishing it, though that's what you want. Though you want to accomplish the career, or though you want to accomplish the job, or though you want to accomplish building the business, or though you want to accomplish the relationship, that's not the thing that gives you the ultimate satisfaction. If you're honest with yourself, the thing that really gives you the ultimate satisfaction is you knowing that you're making progress, is you being able to move the needle on something and move the step forward. So in this episode, I want to give you the freedom to continue on. Let this be your sign. Let this episode be your sign to continue to move forward with the thing that you're doing. I want to encourage you that the thing that you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. And if you weren't supposed to be doing it, you would have done and be doing something else. Listen to my words here. The thing that you're doing, the path that you're going, it may not seem clear always. It may not always seem like it has the brightest reward. You may even see people moving beyond you. You may see people having success faster than you. You may see people getting the kind of life that they want faster than you. You may even see, the people all on social media that talks about how perfect life is, and that there's never any problems, and everyone's rich, and everybody has a Lamborghini, and everybody's family is perfect. You may see that and look at yourself and start to self-sabotage and discredit the effort and the work that you're putting in to be in your lane and create the thing that's so unique that nothing else can compare to it. So let this be your sign to keep on. I had someone reach out to me on Facebook a few days ago. And it was a high school friend, someone that I went to high school with. And they wrote me a message. And in essence, the message pretty much was saying, hey, you know, we haven't spoken since high school, but I've had a challenging life. You know, I've been through some things, and I believe you can help me. And, you know, I see that you're killing it. And, you know, I'd love to have a conversation with you, because I think maybe even a conversation would help. And I read the message, and this is what motivated me to talk about this topic on this episode, is because I read the message, and this person that wrote me this note on Facebook, prior to this, I hadn't talked to them. They hadn't, you know, shown up in the algorithm. They didn't purchase a course. They weren't in the email list of mine. They weren't, that I know of, a subscriber to anything that I do or anything that I put out. But their life has been impacted by my life and what I have done with my life. No matter how, no matter where I am in my journey, and this is the thing that I want to push you in as well, that no matter where you are in your journey, you are still impactful to somebody. No matter where you are in your journey, you are still encouraging to people. You are still inspiring to people. You're still motivating to people. No matter how you feel about your result, there's always someone that will be willing to trade their life for your life. And there is no algorithm for impact. There is no perfect algorithm. There is not an algorithm yet that has been able to properly capture true lasting impact. And because, and I felt victim to this, is, you know, I've got a team, and we quite often, you know, are looking at our impact. We're always looking at how effective are we with doing things? How popular was the social media post, or you know, what was the response to this thing that we posted on social media, or how many comments did we get? How many likes did we get? How many reposts or shares did we get? How many saves did we get? And we're always checking the algorithm to see how we're doing. We're always checking our stats and checking our numbers. But what I had to really get clear on, and when I had to start to flush through my thoughts, I realized that there is no algorithm for true impact, because the people that you really impact, they may not like the post. Like, the people that you're really blessing, they may not write a comment. They may not be in the position to DM you or message you and tell you specifically how you've helped them. But you are impacting people. There are people that are watching you. There may not be people that's liking your post. There may not be people that show up to your event and always support you or outwardly look like they're supporting you. But there are people that you are impacting that you will never meet. And I even had to really start to when it comes to this podcast, and when it comes to talking about the things that we talk about here, and all the time that everyone that listens to this podcast consistently shows up and consistently listens, for me, you know, I really want to grow the podcast, and it's something that I'm really enjoying doing. And if someone is giving me 30, 20, 30, 40 minutes of their time, and it's really giving me 30, 40 minutes of their life, if someone is listening to a podcast from someone sometimes that they don't know, to get a piece of advice, encouragement, a gem, a tip or trick, something, if they're listening to this podcast to get something to help them move forward in life, or just positivity, whatever, I am honored that someone has willingly given me 20, 30, 40 minutes of their life. 20, 30, 40 minutes of their life that they would never get back. And so it's with that sacrifice, it's with that preciousness that I think of the podcast. But not only I think of the podcast in that way, but I also think of how I show up in the world. And if someone is giving me 10 seconds on a social media post to like a post, or if someone is giving me a conversation, I do something that's called an enrollment call, and it really helps people, you know, when it comes to around their business and their mindset. And I have conversations, and I help people get clear with some of the mental things that they may be stuck in, or some business challenges that they may be having. But in that call, someone is willing to give me 60 minutes of their time. And sometimes it goes over and sometimes it's more than that. But when someone is willing to give you time that they cannot get back, you can get money back, you can get possessions back, you can get a job back, you can get a position back, but no one has figured out a way to get time back. And so when someone gives you time, doesn't matter how many people that do it, for me, I've really felt convicted to really not worry so much about the numbers and truly just getting in the habit of blessing people. Just getting in the habit of serving people at the highest capacity possible. That the person that's in front of me, if there's one person that listens to this episode, that I have done my job. If there was one person's life that I maybe didn't even change, but there was a person's life that I may have impacted them for a moment, or I may have given them an hour. I may have given them 2 hours. I may have given them half a day. Maybe something that I said gave them 24 hours of strength and resilience and an ability to truly take the steps forward to create the kind of life that they want. I honor that. And so I honor anyone that's listening to this podcast right now. And if you are like me and someone that may struggle sometimes with getting caught up in the numbers, or struggle with getting caught up in the algorithms, or getting caught up in the results, I want to encourage you that there is sometimes very hard ways to track your impact. Impact doesn't have a perfect algorithm. Hey, are you an entrepreneur out there that's really trying to get clear on how to take the next steps in your business? Maybe you've got a great idea, or maybe you've got a great strategy, but you're struggling with what steps to take forward. Do you have a business that maybe you're struggling with creating 6 figures in it? Maybe your business isn't producing enough income for you to leave your 9 to 5 and be able to do it full time, and that is your dream. Well, you're in luck. I've thought about you because we wanted to provide more value to people that were looking to create their first ever 6-figure business. So we released the 6-Figure Academy, and the Academy is a 10-week long cohort where you're going to go through every single week specific strategies to help you take your business to the next level. It doesn't matter if you're a starting out entrepreneur and you've got an idea, or you may be a serial entrepreneur but have struggled with really finding lasting success in your business. If you'd like to connect with this academy, feel free to join us. Take a look at our website at www.6figacademy.com. That's right, www.6figacademy.com. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. And so I want to give you some tips in this episode to not be like myself and to make sure that you're continually prioritizing the why and not the what. I know the what is important. I know the what is intentionality, and you need the what. I know your time is valuable, and I know what you're doing, that you want success and you want the money and you want whatever it is. You want the fulfillment, you want the impact, you want the purpose, all of that stuff that may be tied into what you're doing. But I want to give you some tips in this episode to how you can really be sure to become not so connected and tied to the results always. Now, hear me out, because in previous episodes, I've talked about how important results are, right? Like, the results are important. The results absolutely matter. But I want you to have control to not be driven by results, because results can be flighty. Results can change with algorithms. Results can change with seasons. Results can change with product or with the things that you go through in life. And so I do not want you to be so attached and tied to the results, so much so that you start to look inwardly, or you point the blame inwardly, and you don't really really realize the kind of impact that you're making. So one of the first things that I will say is coming from a mindset of really being disjointed and disconnected from the results. So how would it be, and this is the tip one, is like, what would it look like for you to as you think through and as you determine like what your goal is and how you want to impact people and how you want to show up for people. What if that was the only thing that mattered? What if the only thing that mattered was how you showed up for people? What if the only thing that mattered is how you showed up for yourself? how you showed up for your family members, how you showed up for your colleagues? What it would if that was the only thing that mattered and you didn't do it for something in return? Truthfully, you're going to get something in return, but that's just the byproduct of it. How could you show up differently if you only moved with doing things disconnected from someone else returning the gesture, returning the favor, or giving you something back? And so point one and tip one, and I think this is a level of maturity, is that can you serve people without a reward? Can you show up for people without getting anything in return? Because if you're truly doing the thing that you're supposed to do, just doing the thing is what blesses you. Serving people is blessed. Like for me, coaching people is what blessed me the most. And being able to show up for people and help give them clarity and give them guidance and point them in the right direction, those things reward me. Yes, there is there's a financial component attached to it, and I'm thankful for it. God bless you. I'm thankful for the financial component to it. But that's not the why. That's not the only reason why I do what I do. And it's not the number one or priority of why I do what I do. So that's number one. I would say number two is also realize what it is to be better connected with the people that you serve. I believe, like there's so many people in my life who I have not given them their flowers, like truly giving them flowers, because there's people that have blessed me and I think about their words still on sometimes a daily or a weekly basis. There's someone who, like, I see this on the other side. There's someone that I know or someone that I would consider a mentor of mine, and I'll see their post or on social media, or I'll read their book, or I'll see them on TV or something like that, or I'll see them do something significant, or talk to them and hear them do something significant in their lives. And it inspires me so much. But I started to inventory how many times in that inspiration, when I was inspired, that I actually circle back and go to that person and give them their flowers. And it's very, very little. Like I get so encouraged and inspired by my friends and the people that are around me. And there's times where I'll like something or comment on something, but that's a exception to the rule. Typically I'm inspired. I get inspired by something, and it's almost like I use that and then I move on. Right. So for me, it's okay. Point two is, how can I be more intentional with reaching back for the people that are impacting me? Right. It's like the saying when people say, hey, if you want to be a good friend, if you want a friend, be a good friend. Right. So if you want to feel impact, or you want to get better clarity on the kind of impact that you're making on people, why don't you let other people know the kind of impact that they're making on you? I believe that is the reciprocity that happens in just the earth when you do the thing that you want, right? If you need more money, go out and start giving money away. Start being more generous. Start supporting people at a higher capacity, and that will happen as a byproduct. And I will say the last point is, and this is the reason why you do all of this, because once you realize your true impact, it becomes a battery that nobody can drain. Once you realize your true impact, once you truly understand the way that you're showing up for people, the way that you're blessing people, the way that you're touching and encouraging people, once you truly realize that, it will be like a renewable battery that no matter what hell, no matter what problem, no matter what challenge comes your way, that nothing can drain that battery down to zero, because you are rooted in who you are, and you know whose you are, and you move in that in such a way that allows you to go directly into the place of serving people and being the best version of yourself. And so this is your permission. Let this episode be your permission to continue forward. Let this episode be your encouragement to not stop, to continue to press on. That your success is going to be a lagging measure of your habits, that what you do consistently is going to eventually show up in your life. And your consistency is what's going to be rewarded in this next season. Your consistency is what's going to reward you, not being so connected to the results. Do not despise your small beginnings. Be thankful that you've got the time that you've got. Be thankful that you can be more dedicated and committed to the people that you get the opportunity to serve. Be more thankful in that, because there will be a time that if you consistently show up and be more present and consistently serve people, that will continue to grow and you'll have completely different set of problems. All right. And so let this be your sign to keep going. Let this be your sign to push on, because you are impacting people that you are not even aware of. And don't let someone being on the other side of a camera convince you that you aren't changing other people's lives, because sometimes it's harder to see when they're just on a screen of yours, when they're just on a 5-inch screen or device in your hand. You are changing lives, and I don't want you to forget that. Continue on, push on, and let's make the next step the best step. All right, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.